Alright folks, welcome to another beer review. I've realised the longer my hair gets, the more I look like a feminist. But it is what it is. So today we're going over to Salt, and this is a can of the Cafe Stout, which is in collaboration with Vivia. I'm not sure if that's how that's pronounced, but I believe that they produce tequila. And illustrated by Tom J. Newell? I'm sure, is it Amundsen? How is it pronounced? Does he do artwork for them? Because that's what the artwork reminds you of, with the bold colours and the thick lines. I've got thick lines as well, but I won't show you that. And yeah, so it's a coffee stout brewed with coffee beans. I had to re-record this because I could not for the life of me read that information when I was started recording the review, because I don't do any research prior to reviews, although I probably should, just so I don't set myself up to fail. But that's the story of my life. But yeah, so a nice coffee stout. Picked this up from Morrison's, and yeah, I do love a coffee stout. Alcohol, well, beer and coffee together, two of my favourite things. It's a marriage made in heaven. Not so keen on tequila, don't have the best memories. Back when, you know, my drink of choice was a double vodka Red Bull. Well, I didn't get anyone pregnant, so that's a plus, I suppose. That's because I was just a mess when I was a teenager, but we won't go there. I've grown a lot and I've gained quite a few pounds since then. Anyway, my hair looks majestic, so, you know, I've got that going for me. Beer in the glass then, and that looks oily, doesn't it? It was pouring a little bit like an oil slick. It's got a nice sheen on the top, nice dark, pretty much, I don't want to say jet black, but a really, really dark brown, looking really, really nice. He's used really, really twice in quick succession. Anyway, looks very, very good. I've not had a coffee stout for a while, so I'm very much looking forward to this. It's been an interesting week, to put it mildly. Oh man, that smells really, really coffee forward, which is what we want. Oh yeah, like really like roasty coffee. Tobacco. There's a little bit of char there. Remarkably earthy. Oh man, that smells wonderful. The coffee character on this. I'm not sure where they've sourced the coffee from. I think it's like locally sourced, so any roasters within Shipley. I had to think for a second then. Hang on. No, not Shipley. Salter. Anyway, that smells really, really good, you know. Just what I want with a coffee infused beer. I'm not sure if there's any sort of like tequila-esque elements to this beer. I'm certainly not detecting that on the nose. But yeah, very, very nice on the nose indeed. I could just smell this for ages. In fact, I've made a point of like, put that aroma, God, that double chin does not do me any favours when I've got my hair put behind my ears. Look like that fella off Phoenix Nights, who does the Gary Glitter performance. He looks like the ex-CEO of the company I work for, and he was a twat. No names mentioned. Although he's landed on his feet after putting a company for administration, and now he's doing real estate in Bali. It's alright for some, innit? If I fucked up, that's it, I'm on my arse and I'm blacklisted. But, you know, if you know the right people, you can get away with murder, literally, can't you? Anyway, not saying that he's ever done that, by the way. This is all just theoretical. There's nothing real that I've just said there. And, you know, it's the previous company the previous administration. I went into administration, so I could talk shit about those people. Anyway, this beer smells really good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. The coffee flavour is nowhere near as intense as the aroma. It's a more subtle, mature tasting coffee character. I'm getting a fair bit of licorice. You're getting that like tobacco on the back end. There's quite a bit of chocolate in there actually, like really nice dark chocolate. It's a relatively, not light body, but it's got a really nice velvety sort of feel to it. So it's not thin by any stretch. And I know I've said plenty of times before, don't know why I took a step back. I've said plenty of times before, when it comes to beers that have had something included in it, I like it when it's like there, you know, like whether it's a citrus fruit infused pale or IPA, or whether it's with coffee or even like a smoked beer. You know, smoked beer, perfect example. I don't want a subtly smoky beer. If you're making a smoked beer, I want it to be intense. I want you to alienate a lot of your drinking base because it's going to be too much for them. But with that being said, I've got to say, this is a beautifully rounded, mellow. A little bit dry on the finish as well. It's almost got like a slight clove-like feel to it. But it's actually, the subtlety is working really well. It's working in its favour a lot, actually. And I think this would be a really nice sort of like stout to put in a chili con carne. Cooking with beer is a wonderful thing. A lot of times you cook with beer, you don't get any of the character from the beer. But this in a chili con carne, I think would work really, really well. And it's almost reminding me, because there is a little bit of a tang to it. Now, I'm not saying there's like peppers or chilies in there, but there is a little bit of a spice note to it. And it's almost reminding me, even though there's no way to gauge this, and if I was to have the beer that I'm about to reference, again, will probably taste completely different to this. But a long while ago, get your coolest drinker bingo card ready, because he's mentioning the Mikkeller Beer Club. When I was part of the Mikkeller Beer Club, I got a nice sort of like 750ml bottle of, it was more of a Chipotle porter from Mikkeller, and it was wonderful. And I used that in a chili con carne, and it worked really, really well. Because I like to put, if I've got it to hand, sprinkle some dark chocolate in there. Sometimes I will put a little bit of black coffee in there from, you know, freshly brewed beans. Just add a little depth of flavour. I enjoy my chili con carne that I make. A lot of people will probably say that's not really too much like a proper chili con carne, but it tastes nice to me. Thank the Lord for Chipotle paste. That's a wonderful, wonderful ingredient, not just for chili con carne. And I tell you what else I like having in my chili. I'm not going to lie, I'm very, very, what's the right word? I don't have many onions in mine. I don't understand when people use loads of chopped onions when they're cooking. You can easily replace, and Anthony Bourdain's looking down on me with absolute despair right now. And if Marco Pierre White came through, he'd give me a slap, and I would cry And that would be my decision to cry. That's a good reference. Onion powder. I don't like the texture of onions in cooking. Onion gravy? Fuck off. That's almost worse as cheesy chips, right? I love chips. I like cheese. I don't want cheesy chips. Unless, and the ponce in me is coming out right now, unless they're truffle chips with quite a generous sprinkling of parmesan, because that's a flavour combination that is to die for. And that to me has become one of my favourite companions to craft beer. When the food truck or whatever the event is doing truffle chips, wonderful stuff. Truffle crisps, I could eat them all day. Do you know what I mean? It's up there with me for Lancashire sauce crisp. I'm gonna have to do some crisp content. I need to get back onto the Crisp Butty show. But yeah, crisps. I even started to do a tier list in work of the crisps in the vending machine. There's these really cheap, I like low quality, cheap, puffy crisps. That's not a slur. You know, you get them from the garage for 90p for a somewhat big bag. By the way, crisps are ridiculously expensive. But I like posh crisps, so I'm my own worst enemy. Those, I can't remember what the brand is, but they do like a Parma ham flavour and they do the truffle crisp. A lot of trendy craft beer bars will have them, and they're worth it. Although that being said, there's nothing wrong with, oh my God, my crisp knowledge it's escaped me. That's sacrilege. That's almost as sacrilege as Anthony Bourdain looking down at me and saying, what the fuck are you doing with that chili con carne? But yeah, like I said, go back to it. Cheesy chips, fuck off. Don't need it. Get out of my sight. Onion gravy always reminds me of undercooked chips when you bite into an onion in onion gravy. What's the point in this? I can't remember. I'm just drinking this beer. It's fine. I'm not having a mental breakdown. That's you having a mental breakdown. My sweatshirt smiles for me, so I don't have to smile at people. But yeah, anyway, going back to what we were trying to talk about. Chili con carne. Perfect beer to accompany a chili con carne. Perfect beer to use in your sauce with a chili con carne. But yeah, I don't like onions. Red onions, raw red onions on a burger, fantastic. Put the tomato in the bin. Tomatoes should not be anywhere near a burger. And if you have tomatoes on a sandwich, what the fuck is going on in your life? Because you're just destroying the big words have gone. The big words have gone. You're making your bread soggy when you put tomatoes on a sandwich. It's like, I don't get it. It's just not a nice combination mushed around with doughy bread. With your Warburton's toasty. And also, in my chili con carne, I like to get, Matheson's smoked sausage. Chop that up a little bit. And if you want to go for, multicultural cuisine, then if you've got a bit of andouille paste, put that in there as well. Just beautiful, beautiful. I make good chili con carne. There are rare occasions where it doesn't work, and it's just like a dry mix, but that's on me, and I just can't be arsed doing it. That goes well in a toasty, by the way. Chili con carne toasties are wonderful. In fact, I tell you what is a nice toasty. Get yourself just some beef mince, season it how you want to, mix it all in, and then spread it on your bread raw. Put it in the toasty maker, because it's so finely spread, it'll cook good within the time frame of how long the toasty makes. Get a bit of salsa, dip that, and that's a great snack. I've not done that for 4 years, and I need to do it. But it's hard to get good salsa in the UK. in Germany, he's ticked that off the bingo card. There was this brand, you know, there's the same sort of stuff that, you know, the long, don't do that gesture, those long, like, bottles of tomato sauce. To me, very, like, German, Bavarian. I don't know why Bavarian. That's not what I wanted to say. But, you know, when you get, like, the currywurst ketchup, which is fantastic, by the way. That, or sometimes you have, like, the glass jars of it, the long glass jars. We're not talking about the beer anymore. Just put that on a plate and dip your beef mince toasty in there. It's a great snack, believe me. I was very apprehensive when I first tried it, but it's wonderful. But yeah, chili con carne, that to me is probably one of my most consumed and cooked meals recently. Make a big batch of it, have some there and then freeze the rest, and you've got 2 or 3 days worth of, you know, good food. And this is a lovely, lovely beer. It almost goes against my principles of what I want with a coffee beer. Because it's not abrasive, it's not in your face. You can definitely tell the coffee's there. The stout itself, not even talked about it, wonderful. A wonderfully simple stout. I'm not sure if it's like a base recipe that they use for other brews that they have, but the stout itself is fantastic. And next time at Morrison's, if they've got this, 3 cans of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, can of this, maybe 2 cans of this and 2 cans of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. I need to do a Sierra Nevada UK order. I'm missing out on some really good beers that have been doing the rounds on YouTube recently. But yeah, that's the best salt beer that I've had for a long time. Not to say I've had any bad ones, because, you know, iCat's a good one, and then just the usual core stuff that you find in the supermarkets. Always dependable. But no, that's really, really nice. It's got such a satisfying aftertaste. It's smooth. Licorice there again, there's a woodiness there as well. Almost like a barrel flavour on the back end. That's an absolute knockout of a beer. That's fantastic. I'm not sure, like I said, because I'm not too well versed in tequila, because I think although if you have a good tequila, I can imagine it's a really nice drink. When you're out in the bars and it's like 2 shots for like 50p, then you're not going to get good tequila, are you really? But then again, you could be in Thailand and then get literally poisoned to death. What an absurd thing that was, by the way. Absolutely horrifying. Mind you, you can't really cut corners on a keg line or a cask line, so you're just better off drinking beer. Trust me. But yeah, anyway, Cafe Stout, Salt and Vivere, wonderful stuff. Not too sure if there's any sort of like tequila ingredients in this. I can't pick it up because I don't really drink tequila. I'm not a big spirits guy. If I do, it's usually a nice spiced rum or a good quality gin, or a nice bourbon. I'm more of a bourbon. I've tried to be that single malt person. Although Manchester, when PA Brew News came round, after I ran away from a woman, basically. It's a long story, very pathetic. But I'd just come out of a long-term relationship then, so yeah, I've got my excuses. And then to drown my sorrows, just before I got the train back home, we went to, I don't know what pub it was. It's like, I'm sure it was like a bar Faith, like across the road from the Arndale. And they had quite an extensive selection of whiskies, from what I remember. And he bought me a really good, high-quality whiskey. And that was wonderful. But I'm not going to lie, give me Jack Daniels. Do you know what I mean? Or Jim Beam or Maker's Mark or something like that. Just a nice bourbon. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I like it with a little bit of Coke. Pepsi, Coca-Cola. No, not the other one. That'd be an awful combination, going from whiskey to cocaine. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is an awful video. Beautiful, beautiful beer. If it's in your local Morrison's, pick it up. If you see it available in your local bottle shop or web shop, pick it up. If you're doing an order from Salt, I'm not sure if they've got it available on the website, pick it up, because it's a wonderful, wonderful beer. I'm very, very happy with that. I like how sticky it makes my lips feel. That's what she said. Anyway, check out Salt, check out the beer, and if you tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions. And yeah, thank you for watching. And yeah, apologies for the bullshit that was spoken in this video. See you guys, take care.